Just hear those sleigh bell ring-a-ling, ding-ding-ding-a-ling-doo.
Ring-a-ling-ding-dong ding.
On in lovely weather, put a little together with you.
Ring-a-ling-ling-ding
a couple weeks
dong
away.
ding.
Yeah, it's December, you know. Welcome.
This will be uploaded like mid-December.
Alexis December to Remember event.
Welcome to the Alexis December to Remember event, episode
Nice.
118.
Jeez, that's wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We've been doing
It's
this
been
a long time.
that we've been doing this event. It's one to remember, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that much.
Not sponsored.
Anyway, before we get into fucking anything, which is a lot
The show?
this week, to
Yeah.
be fair, it'd be really helpful if you could like this episode of the Joystick Show, which
Mhm.
is actually what's happening, and it'd be
Yeah.
really helpful if you could subscribe to Team Joystick.
If you haven't already.
Boys, support a local production business.
Correct.
Word.
You know? And
Yeah.
especially if you're from Queens, then it's super local.
Yep, in the warehouse, which is definitely
Which
not
is
basement.
the basement
Yeah,
with very low ceilings.
the studio.
You know it. More
Yeah.
on that later. But to talk about something seasonal and to talk about one of those rare things that we do communally,
We all hung out and did something together.
we
What?
did.
We did hang out.
Let the
all
record
together.
state, we are just friends for this YouTube channel.
No.
Yeah.
Only sometimes do we get together.
Yeah.
and do
Other than
things.
that, don't
there's
know.
no care. There's
Yeah.
no visits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our
Definitely.
agents got together and they found out the perfect day for us to go
This
see
is
a
a
movie.
well-oiled machine.
I can afford agents. What?
Yes. But no, we got together and we watched a movie. We went to go see Violent Night,
Correct.
which ended up being, in my opinion, a pretty damn good Christmas movie.
I think it was a
Very-
really good Christmas
a very
movie.
good Christmas movie.
I mean, just to give some context, I'll leave this as a pretty spoiler-free
Yeah.
thing, even though it's not that big of a movie, like a deal with that movie.
Yeah,
at
because
least.
it's like the trailer
No,
too,
yeah.
kind of.
It's like
let us know.
for what it's worth, the plot isn't crazy, and the some things are kind of readable, so you can kind of figure it out for yourself as you're watching. And I won't give you the exact deets, but just to talk more about what the basic premise of the movie, it's David Harbour playing Santa,
Yes,
legitimate Santa Claus,
the real one.
who's hopping house to house, dropping off presents while drinking beer and pissing out of his sleigh all the way along.
Mhm.
And eventually he gets to a house that's being robbed by John Leguizamo,
Yes,
my man Leguizamo, and
the whole operation.
and the family gets taken hostage by 10 thugs that turn into 30 thugs because
Yeah.
action movie.
Mhm.
And it turns into an action movie where Santa Claus has to then rescue the family using brute force.
Yeah.
And very creative kills.
I had to describe it to my family member as if Santa was in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's especially what
Why
I would.
Mortal Kombat? You couldn't say like a war movie, Rambo?
No, because there's fatalities.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
very clearly designed
and
kills.
to be more specific, there's holiday themed fatalities,
Yes.
which is hilarious.
correct. There's winter themes. There's tons of.
Yeah.
I was
going on.
actually as a lover of horror movies and seeing all these gore and kills, I was very impressed with how creative they were because they were holiday themed.
Yeah,
So I was like, oh shit, that's really cool.
for sure. And another thing I was gonna say is, the movie is pretty gory and it's got some pretty wild stuff. There's some decapitation scenes and some straight up evisceration shit. But
Yeah,
for some
stabbings,
reason, but for some
everything.
reason, the overall scene that got everybody, and I guess this is a spoiler alert, was a scene where a character gets a nail shoved through their chin and into their mouth.
Yeah, and it's very visible.
And that was the scene that everybody in the theater was just like,
Everyone,
oh my
everyone,
God.
everyone felt that one.
That's
And
weird.
low-key
No
in my
one
head,
cared
I'm
about all the other
Yeah,
stuff.
word in my head, I was like,
It was the nail.
Santa decapitated
All the blood
mother-
everywhere, and the other one.
But that one, I guess I get it, but I just found it kind of funny. And last but not least, like we also said, right, it kind of has some interesting Christmas themes that tie it together at the end, and it ends up turning into a pretty wholesome holiday movie.
I was telling my parents that I was like, it was actually low-key wholesome. You wouldn't think a movie about Santa going and killing mercenaries to save a family would have surprisingly a good amount of wholesome moments.
Yeah, right.
Very
The
true.
holiday.
It's very much about belief in the
Mhm.
holiday and just
Family.
just the spirit and everything.
I got mad almost when they focused so much on the sentimentality early on, because I'm like, this doesn't matter, he's gonna fucking murder people.
Yeah,
I
right.
knew I didn't know what the movie was about, but I knew that it was an action movie.
Yeah, you knew the premise.
And I knew there was kills in it. But then I saw it and I was like, oh, this is actually paying off. These are characters I care about. It actually turned into a thing. I was like, I'm fucking invested.
And one more thing, I do want to spoil just one scene in the movie that
Okay.
definitely killed Joey and I. Shout outs to a character in the movie named Krampus, who's this mad little he's like the angry a bad guy.
All the
like,
mercenaries gave code names. So
Yeah.
Frosty, Krampus, Jingle.
gingerbread, yeah.
Yeah.
But then Krampus is like, he's like the angry archetype. Like this guy just wants to fuck shit up and everything like
He's
that.
cursing,
Yeah.
mocking.
Yeah,
he's
but
funny.
there's
He's
a,
also small.
and
And
he's
he's
really
small,
short.
he's short.
Short king for
But
sure.
my fucking favorite scene in the movie is there's a scene where like the a very kiss ass daughter gives the rich mom like a framed photo of the mom holding her when she was like just born, and the mom says some like really cliche shit like,
She's
I
like, "I
know I
remember
was
this."
there, yeah.
Yeah, like some like. Ooh.
And as she says it, the Krampus dude, like snatches the fucking frame out of her hand and goes, "She doesn't fucking care," and throws it across the room. And I started crying in the theater, bro.
I started laughing so hard that I turned over to the right because we were separated by the aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see Bobby laughing as hard as I was, and I was like, yeah.
I like you guys were the loudest ones in
Yeah,
that
and when
scene.
Joey
for sure.
said it after the movie, I was like, I'm so funny that he brought it up because Joey was exactly who I was thinking of when that happened because that's such our humor, bro. She doesn't fucking care.
It was a great scene.
It was just so
That was a
out
great
of
That was a
movie.
re- yeah.
It
It's
was
a
a really
great
good movie.
movie.
I think it's
Ton
sitting at
of-
like 69 on Rotten Tomatoes, and hey, I think that's just fine. But
It's
you know what?
definitely a movie I'll watch next
Fuck
Christmas.
the critics. Take it from Team Joystick. If you're of age and you like Christmas movies, you like action movies, go check out Violent Night. It's a
That's
great
a, I
watch.
mean, that's a great movie. I mean, it's in terms of like enjoyability. There's nothing else like Joey said. This is like gonna go into the rotation.
Yeah,
Like this
right?
is in the Christmas movie roster.
This
now.
is in the Christmas movie roster. It's
Like, this
gonna
is
be there.
definitely-
This
yeah.
this goes on after Die Hard. Now
Yeah.
now there's a slot.
There's
after Die
action.
Hard.
This is an actual
You thought
Christmas.
Die Hard
This
was
is an,
it?
yeah.
Die Hard was just it happened at Christmas. This is an actual.
This is an
action.
actual Santa Claus is kicking ass
Yeah.
movie.
It was cool too because when we came home, my mom asked if it was like that, and I was like, "No, this is a holiday fucking
Mhm.
action movie." But regardless,
for sure.
I mean, speaking of the holiday season, you guys are in a very cheery seasonal mood, right? Because you guys are in a great season, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
What are you guys up to?
Oh yeah. So I remember there was a lot of memes going around about this, where like if you're in some sort of higher education,
Mm-hmm.
whether that be an undergraduate
I'm
or
in some higher
graduate,
education.
yeah, that you'll notice that like there's schoolwork throughout the entire year, but then you start to realize there's like a final project that I was supposed to be working on this whole time that I wasn't working on. There's this test that I didn't read any of the textbook, and now there's gonna be a test on stuff in the textbook. And imagine that, but with like 5 classes.
Yeah.
So a lot of work. I'm stuck in the situation where I am in a group project and a fully online class, which whoever invented that should just die.
I hate that.
like it's like, hey, you know how you have no communication and no way to meet this person other than Zoom? Yeah, do a whole fucking thing together.
It's like, hey,
I
you
hate
know how
it.
you would never even do this if you were actually in front of each other
Yes.
and met up a couple times a week? Now do it from home. Like,
Yes, which in my class is even worse, because in my class there was a whole project that goes on throughout the year where I'm supposed to have a buddy, because I'm taking intercultural communications. So I have a buddy that I'm supposed to communicate with throughout the entire year. The dude does not answer anything. He hasn't done any of the work. He has a 20 in the class, but you can hand in everything late, and the professor said it was okay. So he's doing everything mad late. Now everything I'm doing is late, and I'm like, you better
Because
not.
you need him.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get points off, but I still feel weird. I feel like I'm still doing bad in the class because this fucking dude. Even if I'm
Yeah.
doing bad for my own volition, still his like Jashawn. If you're watching, you're a cool person. Well, come on,
Word,
come
man.
on, come on.
funny thing
Jashawn.
was I was gonna ask you what his name was, and I was like, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
But Dylan was like, fuck it.
Dylan
You're
said,
getting
"I'm gonna
called
say
out.
You could bleep
That
it
was some
because he's
cynical
like a
shit.
cool dude. You know what I mean? Obviously, you meet those people in school, or you have like a group project, and like there's one dude that doesn't do shit, but he's like the morale guy.
Yeah.
You know, like he's just like, yeah, whatever, bro. We're gonna do good, and it's like, bro, you haven't done anything. You know?
What have you done?
Yeah, but you don't report him. Like you do the peer evaluation. You're like, he was cool.
Are you in the same
No,
boat?
I'm in the same exact boat because luckily the 2 classes that I'm taking are very light. My school doesn't give a lot of work. They just kind of like, I don't know, they're very relaxed. Like we get like an assignment once a week and then a final assignment. But one of my classes, the final assignment is also a group project. And I didn't even know about it until one of my group members was like, hey, is there a final project? And I was like, I don't know.
This always happens.
I don't know.
I had to make one of my group projects. I had to make a fucking commercial, and I was gonna go to Bobby and be like, "Yo, Bob, just take this shit and edit it or whatever." But we figured it out. It was already due. It was due yesterday, but we did it.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, that sounds.
Can we still
that
do
sounds
it?
like a bad time.
Can we
Can we
still
still
do it
make
and
this
put it on
commercial?
Joystick?
Yeah, we can.
Please, it could be like 20 seconds long.
We could even title it Dylan's fucking
Group
final project
yeah.
from his class.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
fucking do it. So did you do the project, or are you still doing it?
I did my share, but I'm still waiting for my 3 other classmates to finish their share since we share everything on Google
Yeah,
Docs.
Google Drive. Yeah.
By the way, shout outs to Google Drive and Google Docs because like 6 people could be working on one document page, and when everyone works on it, it's like a well-oiled machine. So you just see like
it's fucking lemmings.
you just see like
yeah.
like all over
you
the
see when
place.
people go on. I'm doing that. Yeah, he's really correct though. He's actually
It's
correct,
like-
bro.
like-
It's a hell of a fucking
words just filling up a page. You're like watching a book being created.
all right, maybe not.
I was not expecting a lemmings analogy this episode. I'm sorry, that's what killed me there.
Yeah.
I'm also so happy I'm not in college. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy I do YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But that's it. You know, I'm done with my share.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how my class goes. Let's see if they do anything. If not, I'm just gonna send what I've done to the professor and be like, "Hey,
This is what I
this
do.
is 2 pages. It's supposed to be 8. It's 2."
so I could talk about a scandal.
Yeah.
Because
Scandal.
We
you,
heart scandal.
as you may or may not know, we heart scandals.
Yeah, I do.
Not the show, the noun. So
people.
fucking.
Oh, I almost wrote that. I almost wrote just I Heart Scandal, and I was like, that's a TV
That's
show.
a television show. Kerry Washington.
Don't know if
I think that's her name. Regardless,
Denzel.
I think they're related. They're not.
Yeah.
I'm going off on a tangent here. We gotta stop. No, I was gonna say there's some pretty big drama that happened in the video game world.
Yeah.
Shook the masses.
It shooketh.
Bobby and Jerry have been talking about it on the chat. I'm clueless.
We've
to
been
what the hell's
alluding
going
to
on.
it.
I have caught up at least a little bit because there's a lot of YouTubers like Moist Critical and a lot of other people have
all I'm
made
gonna
videos
say
about
is
it.
There's a lot of legs in this, right? There's
Mhm.
a lot of pieces in this web, so I'm gonna do my best to summarize it based on what I've read, based on what I've heard, right?
Okay.
And if there's things that I fuck up, there's things I fuck up.
Mhm.
Part of me was hoping that Jerry was here and I could really crutch on him, but that's okay, you know.
Call him.
Right? And now we phone in.
We
Jerry.
phone in our Smash correspondent.
Yeah, right.
Hello.
But so regardless, all you really need to know is that there were 2 big circuit events happening this year for Smash Brothers.
Big events.
One was the Smash World Tour, and one was the Panda Cup. Smash World Tour is being run by a company called VGBC, which is a company that's been in Smash literally for like
Forever.
no fewer than 12 years. Like they've been organizing and broadcasting tournaments forever, right?
Okay.
The other company is Panda. Panda sponsors a couple of Smash players. They've been known to help the community in the past couple of years, and they were run by a very corrupt CEO whose name is Dr. Allen.
Yes.
Sounds like a villain.
When both tours were
Yes.
yes. When both tours were announced, VGBC did the right thing and contacted Nintendo to get licensing for the tour because that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna market something, you have to have
Exactly.
the
This
property.
happened in April. They continued along with all of their events happening up until the finale, which was supposed to be this next weekend, I believe.
Mhm.
And the day before Thanksgiving, which was in November, very long time after April, Nintendo emailed the VGBC team telling them that the finale was not officially licensed. So they had to cancel it. And the reason they canceled it is because famously tournaments that are said to be not licensed by Nintendo and continue onward get a cease and desist. And Nintendo threatens to sue them. And then they have to shut the event down. So VGBC, who's smart, was basically like, no, we'll just
We don't want to deal with the lawsuit.
deal with this shit. Yeah. And then behind that came some pretty fucked up shit where they found out that this Dr. Allen guy from Panda,
Which is like the other. He
The
runs
other guy.
the other
run-
cup guy,
the other run.
apparently he had been going to organizers of all these tournaments and trying to get them to be Panda Cup exclusive. So he would go and be like, no, I don't want this to be with the Smash World Tour. I want this to just be a Panda event. Whereas the VGBC
With his company.
Whereas VGBC and the Smash World Tour team were like, nah, it doesn't matter. You can do both as long as it goes to, you know.
Do both as in like both games?
like
Brawl?
like basically a tournament can count, the points can count to both events. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the
okay.
tournament. It's just like if you go to fucking tournament X and do well, your points count for both the World Tour and the Panda Cup.
Okay.
But Dr. Allen was like, no. I want
You
the
need
points
to have
only
your
to
own
count.
points
Exactly.
in this specific.
He was like, no, I want this tournament
And
to
he
count
wanted
only
he
for
wanted
Panda
all
Cup.
under his wing because he owned the company.
And he was trying, And on top of that, he was trying to live in this perfect utopian world where like all tournaments are licensed under Nintendo because that tournament was officially licensed by Nintendo. Important to note, right? It all culminated with this Dr. Allen guy going to another reputable Smash team beyond the Summit, who's makes all like the Smash Summit tournaments and a bunch of other like really big name tournaments. And this Dr. Allen guy and the Panda team essentially tried to threaten them into working solely with them and giving them the broadcast rights. And then when BTS was basically like, we're not doing that, we're not giving you the broadcast rights for free, Dr. Allen said some shit like, well, you're not going to want to work with any other teams because I hear that some shit is going to happen pretty soon in Nintendo. So it's almost like he had insider information.
So
essentially, they were going to do that.
Mm-hmm. And so essentially he had a pre-existing relationship with Nintendo. So he basically used that for months, essentially, maybe even years, it's accused, to blackmail other people in order to get it under Panda.
Not only that, he even threatened it and said something along the lines of like, this could even jeopardize like how tournaments are licensed in the future for all events. So because this guy's an idiot and fucked everything up, not only did just about half of Panda's roster leave the company, all of their players dipped. All of their content creators dipped, all of their workers left, the CEO got fired. On top of all of that, now we live in like this weird limbo where it could potentially look where like tournaments have to be licensed by Nintendo for them to be broadcast and run officially, which as we know in this circumstance took like fucking 8 months. So it's just a really unfortunate time, and it took one fucking asshole to ruin it for literally everybody. Wow. And it all culminated in both tours being canceled. They officially canceled the Panda Cup. They
canceled the
postponed
other
it. The
one.
Smash World
They
Tour is
canceled
not
the one
really
a while
allowed
ago.
to
They canceled the one at
They're
Thanksgiving.
not really allowed to run it anymore, so they're not doing that. But in typical fashion, our Lord and Savior Ludwig came out of the mist and he said, fuck you guys, I'm doing the Scuffed World Tour. And he said, screw it, I'm inviting the top 8 placing players from both Melee and Ultimate to come to his World Tour to compete. And then he just so happened to put it on the same day as the Panda Cup. And he was like, it'd be a shame if somebody put this really cool event on the same day of a pre-existing event. And then they ended up canceling it anyway. So thank you, Ludwig. You're a homie.
Yeah, what a homie.
But, last but not least, free Smash. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all we're getting.
Free
at
Smash.
Here. Free Smash. We just want to play the game. That's it.
It's so telling of like Nintendo already fucked everyone over with Smash for so long, and then now finally it seemed like they were getting the approval and things were going well.
And they fuck it up again.
And can I share one last thing about this? Real quick, there's a really famous moment in Melee in 2013, the famous EVO 2013 moment, where Melee was supposed to be at EVO 2013, but then I think it got taken down by Nintendo for like mysterious reasons, right?
Yes.
EVO, to take its place or something like that, had a drive where communities from games could raise money for charity, and whichever game got the most amount of money would get their fighting game featured at EVO.
Yes.
And under some weird circumstances, Nintendo, I think, let Melee run in the standings again. And this one guy, shout outs to Bobby Scar, was able to gather like just about everybody in the community to Spirit Bomb a gigantic donation that actually, quote unquote, a lot of people say that it saved Melee. Like it really reinvigorated competitive Melee, and it's why we still have it today. It's that remarkable of a moment. And apparently through all this like Panda Nintendo shit, apparently it was exposed from higher ups or not higher ups, from people who were at Nintendo, that the reason Nintendo pulled Melee in 2013 was apparently because that's around the same time they were going to announce Smash 4, and they didn't want that to take away from it.
Yeah.
And that the only reason they didn't pull it a second time was because it was for charity, so Nintendo didn't want to look like
They
dicks.
didn't want to look like
So it's kind of weird is the sole fact that we still have a scene today is just because Nintendo didn't want to
look like an asshole stealing money from charity.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I guess thanks, but also go fuck yourselves.
Damn, man, we got a history lesson on like
Nintendo's slimy, man.
Fuck
Nintendo
Nintendo.
is slimy.
Fuck Panda. All I gotta say.
Speaking of like, before we segue to something else, tournaments and everything, I taught my girlfriend what esports is, because she was like, what is esports?
Yeah.
So I showed her a bunch of compilation of like what esports events look like, and she's like, these are huge stadiums, and then they get on a stage and it's just like 4 guys on a computer.
Yeah, Like I think Rocket League, right? They got like the Staples Center or something. Like they
Yeah,
got like a huge
Call
arena.
of Duty got like a whole theater,
Yeah.
like a off-Broadway theater to fill up the seats and everything. They had a projector and just like 8 players on
it may be biased for me, but I not even just for Smash. I think there is something hype about a fighting game in that situation, because it's like one person at one TV, the other person across from them at the other TV, just them on the stage. It's like a fighting thing, right?
It's a
but
fight.
It's a lot weirder when it's like a team-based game and they're all in front of computers
6v6.
and people are watching from like 60 feet away, people up there on a fucking screen. It's like, I don't know. And then you got to look at cameras looking at them.
Whereas like a 1v1 fight just feels like a boxing match, but in a video game.
And it's like right in front of you on stage.
We were watching like top 5 biggest like freakouts and meltdowns, and they all come from like League. They all come from like League, 2K,
StarCraft, maybe.
2K. No, there are people. I started laughing because
Madden, Madden Esports, people go fucking crazy.
they do.
They're like, wait it up, bro.
But I want to say this: at the 2K Esports, they're wearing sweatbands.
He's right.
Why are you all wearing sweatbands?
They show up in gear. He's right.
They have gear. They got jerseys and sweatbands and wrist bracelets. And I'm like, you're sitting down.
I'm in my room practicing for
that-
2K. My mom walks in. She's like, "Why are you sweating?" "I'm practicing, Mom."
They have the whole armband that Carmelo Anthony wore.
That's right.
They got the goggles.
They push circle and they make it in. They're like, nothing but net, baby. They get up and like, nothing but net. Swish, swish.
Man,
swish.
we gotta watch this. There's another video like that for Madden. We have to watch it
Oh,
after this.
God.
That's fucking great.
I could see Madden fucking esports being wild.
And of course, I think was it Leffen? A lot of his freakouts are
for
on there
sure,
when
yeah.
he's throwing his controller on the ground.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nicole's
Classic.
like, what a baby.
Which honestly isn't even anything to some of the shit I've
Yeah,
seen
there's a
from
lot
other-
yeah.
that happens now.
Don't get me wrong, Leffen has been a baby most of the time.
There's fights
but
been that
There's
happen.
been shit in fucking...
Number 1 of that video was this guy, I think like a league tournament, that he got upset, this and that, and then I think like he just left. Like he got up, broke his keyboard, and then they disqualified the team, and then when he got disqualified, he went back and broke like 8 projectors and monitors. Like he was just breaking shit.
Jeez.
There's a really famous clip that happens. It's like in a card shop or something like that. It's like a broadcast Street Fighter tournament,
way.
and it's with Low Tier God, who's like a famous, like a pretty famous character, like player in the in like the fighting game world, especially like Street Fighter, and he's fighting against this other player whose name escapes me at the moment. But they have like a whole ass like pre-fight. Like or pre-game thing where they're like shit talking each other.
I hate that shit.
But you got to keep in mind, Low Tier God is literally like a 6-foot jacked black dude, and this other dude is like, he's wearing an oversized polo shirt. He's like 5'6". He's got a mop haircut. His pants are kind of falling. He's like a really pale white dude, and he's dishing out. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna see you, fucking bitch," or whatever. And he's like, "We're gonna see what bitch you talk about, right?" So then they play the thing, and it ends up that the white little skinny white kid ends up winning, right?
God,
Whatever
yes.
they picks up his thing, and then they give him the mic, and he's like, all I want to say is I know it's gonna be hard for you to forget the taste of my dick in your mouth, and it's like, Jesus Christ, like no chill at all.
This kid was like, I'm here to win.
Yeah.
I'm here to
going,
fucking win and make
100,
enemies.
I've seen shit in the esports world.
Jesus Christ.
Esports. Is it a real sport?
Yes.
It's E for everyone.
EA.
I want Dylan to talk about something.
Oh, okay. I actually have 2 things to talk about.
You talk
Okay,
about it.
well,
But I had a thing that segued into that, but I also have something that is more important. So I feel like I should talk about the more important thing.
Can we
So
talk
yeah.
about the economic and political state of our society right now.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
Jaden
exactly
Smith.
the direction I'm going, and I'm actually here to talk about She-Hulk, which is one of my favorite shows. Which I am watching, by the way. I am watching.
I
that
am
right
watching
now.
too. It's
Yeah,
good.
we're watching that shit.
I don't know. It's like the worst written thing on television. It's like the
Go
worst.
back like
It's like the worst written television show I've ever seen in my life. I don't know. Just why would they put?
Yeah.
Why would a writer put their real life experience into a
Yeah.
show? I don't know. It's just
Why is there a woman as a main
baffles
character?
me. Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
don't know. But anyway,
So yeah, I've had a groundbreaking experience. It's really been eye opening.
this is the ground.
Yeah, we're breaking
It's
it.
broken.
And I've held off for a few months, but I just finished the HBO original series, The Rehearsal, which is produced, directed, starring the wonderful comedian Nathan Fielder
Yay.
from Nathan For You. I held back from watching it for a few months because I was, number one, I wasn't in the best mindset, but also I was told that it was not like Nathan For You. So that made me not doubt it a bit, but I was like, maybe it'll be less funny. But holy shit, what a show. The best way I could describe it is like, imagine like Nathan For You. We watched it before.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, it's essentially a prank reality show. So imagine if that show was a documentary made by an award-winning like director. That's essentially what this show is.
Huh.
Yes.
I still need to watch it because it's hard for you to explain it.
We watched maybe conceptually. I don't even know how to explain it, but I will say what it is, and I think that also there's no way to like prepare people for what the show entails, because the whole concept of the show really like flips on itself, which I'll explain. Upstairs, we were getting ready on Friday to go see Violent Night, which we talked about earlier in the episode, and I showed Joey probably maybe about 3 minutes of the first episode. Joey, what did you think of the first 3 minutes of episode 2?
I felt like I understood what was going on, but I didn't.
Yes.
But it was like really funny.
The show is surreal.
It is surreal and meta.
Yeah.
But then you kind of forget how meta is it being.
Yeah. Does it know how? So the whole concept of the show. So Nathan For You, the concept is, Bobby, you know the concept of Nathan For You, right?
Course, yeah.
He's a business owner.
Yeah.
Or business
rather
guy.
A business
expert.
Liaison.
Yeah. And he goes around, and the show is different case studies of him helping different people around.
Helping.
Yes.
In very creative ways.
So imagine all of that, but this show is a different Nathan. You know how Nathan, it's not Nathan Fielder, it's a character. Yeah. And he's like awkward, he's kind of cheeky.
Yeah.
And he's trying to fuck the person over. Like, a lot of the humor in Nathan For You is like, oh, look at this idiot. They think they're actually getting helped, but we're deceiving them the whole time.
We're making his business look stupid.
This Nathan is not that. This Nathan cares. He is a veteran documentarian of over 20 years. He has gray hair. There are several scenes in the show where he is yelling. Like, he's like, we got to do this right now. And it's like,
is he acting?
Nathan, I'm like, oh, and it's like, it adds so much to the show because it's like, are these stakes? There are things on the line. There's a time restraint. Nathan, why is that so funny?
There's a time restraint on the joke he wants to
everything,
create.
on the thing. So the concept of the show, Bobby, what's so funny? Can we get the Bobby's face? And Bobby, when you edit, just. What?
That's really funny.
So
That's
like,
come
come on,
on.
the joke is failing.
It hit him.
No, but that was really funny.
Yeah.
That's what activated it.
Yeah. So to explain the concept,
right now.
so this is the concept of the show is Nathan is a documentarian and he is trying to help people in their lives rehearse a thing that they're training for. So to explain, episode 1 is a case study of a guy who owns a bar in like Bushwick or like it's like by like the L train. Like Lorimer Street, like, you know, like Williamsburg. And essentially he runs a trivia tournament at his bar and he's lied to people saying that he had a master's degree when he's never finished college.
Okay.
And so basically it's him, and it's like a huge lie. Like, he's been lying about his whole life. So he's basically coming clean to one of his friends that works at the bar that he doesn't actually have a master's degree. And it's just a rehearsal, but it's really funny and it feels a lot more like a Nathan For You episode.
Okay.
What I showed Joey was episode 2 of the show.
And this was the woman with the baby.
Yeah, so the episode 2 is there is a woman named Angela who is in her early 40s, and she might want to have a child. So to prepare her for maybe being a mother, Nathan buys a house in rural Oregon on a farm so that she can recreate raising a baby over the course of 2 months, rehearsing if she actually wants to have a child or not. What you don't know is that this is the rest of the season. The entire season,
it focuses on this woman.
Hold up. So how this episode concludes is, I remember where we stopped watching, maybe around the 3-minute mark, is she's looking for like someone on dating apps. But this person that she's looking for is going to become part of the experiment. So I'm not going to spoil anything,
Holy shit! It's just an ongoing
So,
story
yes.
at this point.
So unlike Nathan For You, which is all individual case studies, this is one overlapping thing. Like the stuff that happens in episode 1 comes up.
I need to watch this.
Diabolical,
The stuff that
dude.
comes.
This is diabolical.
It's only 6 episodes. I watched it all in one sitting, and I was like, my mind is fucking blown. Because you can knock it out in
I can't wait.
like 3 hours. You can knock it out in.
I want to watch him.
Yeah, we'll watch. I mean, we'll watch episode 2 or episode 3 probably, because episode 2 is where you find out. It's like, oh,
So there's no connection whatsoever from 1 to 2.
there is,
Okay.
but episode 1 is more of like we're
Like a
just
taste test, kind of like.
it's
test.
yes, it's like a taste test. It feels a lot like the pilot.
Yeah.
Like this is it's
not to sound to sound too daft, but like they're lubing you up a little bit.
yeah,
right?
they're setting you up.
They're
for
getting you
this-
ready,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're ready. You're getting comfortable. It's like, ooh, this is the concept of the show, and it still is. But essentially, as the seasons episode 3 to episode 6, there are 2 plots going on at the same time. You have Nathan in his real job in other locations helping people with their own rehearsals. But at the end of episode 2, he starts questioning himself. Do I want to have a kid? Do I want to start a family? He is the rehearsal. So he goes home to a fictional family where he's co-parents with Angela.
This is too much. For
Yeah. And episode 3 is where I find out that it is actually not a mockumentary. It is an actual documentary. Like it's funny because
Someone gave this man a camera and
This
he
feels
just
like
went.
it feels like it started as a mockumentary, but then they were like, "This shit is too
yeah.
interesting."
Which in the 3.5 minutes that I showed Joey, which we watched upstairs, there were 2 original songs composed by an orchestra. The show takes itself way too seriously. There's like dramatic music all the time. There's like, you know, like when they're farming, there's like Stardew Valley, like almost like Animal Crossing music.
What did I tell you, man? When it comes to comedy, you over exaggerate every fucking time.
And so, what I mean by like it's not a mockumentary is that the character, it's still a character. It's not actually Nathan, but he is actually trying to help these people. It's just he goes too far, and that's what takes the people the wrong way. It's not that he's pranking them. It's that whoa, this is like way too much. You know, I'm
gonna help you in the craziest
we are
way
constructing
possible.
things. We are spending tens of thousands of dollars. There are 40 actors paid all individually by HBO.
He's like the worst Mr. Beast.
Shitty Mr. Beast.
He's just Beast.
But the reason why I say it's a real show is that there are maybe at least 2 or 3 scenes where people actually cry from like breaking down emotionally. They've lost control. They're actually crying.
Broke him.
Yeah, or like accidentally. And the show, as you go on, it's less about like the individual people that he's helping, and it's more like, why would you want to rehearse something? And it gets almost like meta. You know what I mean?
You can't rehearse life.
You can't rehearse life because you will only get a simulated version of that life. Like, you can do whatever you can to practice, but nothing will prepare you for that.
Yeah.
And the show just ends up becoming about like Nathan and like his family, and
his real family.
Yeah, that's I'm not gonna leave
Oh my
it, but
God.
it becomes the rehearsal.
Are
Becomes,
they married? Like, what the fuck is it?
the rehearsal becomes so real that it like the lines get like blurred a little bit, and that like episode 1 they do it, but there's so many scenes where it will cut between the actual conversation and the rehearsal. So like there'll be a scene where so in episode 4 he hosts an acting class, right? He hosts like an acting seminar. And he takes the best person from the acting seminar, which like I'm not going to get into it, but it's like the most meta part of the show. Essentially, he teaches people how to do the rehearsal, and he calls it the Fielder method. But then he has a second acting class where the people act like the people from the first class, and it's way too meta. But essentially, this culminates into him hiring the best person from that to be Angela, and they rehearse things of his life, but as like Angela. Does that make any sense?
But he's also in a rehearsal with Angela.
Yeah, that's her. But that's her rehearsal.
I got you. I see. So they're gonna intersect. At some point.
Yeah. So they do
God,
it. Yeah,
fucking insane.
I just want to go back to like I said he's breaking him, and Dylan was like, accidentally. How do you like? Oops.
Yeah.
It's like
sorry.
It's like the worst gene.
And now I
broke you.
And by the way, I saw a video.
Mentally.
And if you think this is crazy, I started watching a video essay on YouTube about the show, and I had to shut it off because it was like it got into like more of the meta aspects, and it was like he was actually showing like framing and how like he recreated scenes. So like there's a part where he references Willy Wonka. And then there's a scene where he's hugging his child, and it's the scene of Willy Wonka hugging Charlie.
He's
and it's literally
scenes.
And then it starts talking about how the show recreates reality in such a perfect way. Like there's this Instagram page.
How high were you?
Like what kind of question's that?
Like
Joey?
oh no, like
How
this
high was
is
Nathan?
crazy. How high was
Like-
Nathan? Like
Yeah.
for any of it, like to be looking at this and be like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
and
like,
there's a specific scene that I thought about specifically where like there's this Instagram page where it basically posts all of the shit that people post the same thing of. So it's like holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or like you're in front of this. People take photos of themselves at museums and they're looking at the like that, and it's like, and it's literally a page that posts like 1,000 of the same exact image, but it's different people trying to recreate something.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you actually living your life, or are you just trying to recreate that thing that you think you want?
Okay.
This is a comedy.
I'm ready for the next segment.
It got renewed immediately for a second season. I hope it is more than 6 episodes.
this, I'm
I'm
definitely.
kind of scared for a
And
second
I didn't even
season.
spoil anything. I didn't talk. There was like 3
I'm
episodes.
still confused on what the hell this show is. So
Yeah.
I'm
Still
gonna
gonna
watch
no,
it.
I got it. It,
Yeah.
it made sense
Yes.
to me. I'm gonna
Mhm.
watch it.
I get it,
because that's.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like I was saying about the over exaggeration thing. It's like it sounds to me like it's the kind of show where when they run into a problem, they solve it in the most ridiculous way that then runs them into a different problem.
And it talks about how that is the core of the show, because for example, that's when a lot of shows fall apart. Like for example, a reality show. Take any reality show like 90 Day Fiancé. If you think about it, all of the drama in the show is because you can't get fucking married in 90 days, you know? So it's like, oh, he's afraid of commitment. It's like, no, you can't get fucking married in 90 days. That's why it doesn't work. So like in times where the rehearsal fails time and time and time again, Nathan's like, we gotta try harder. And that's what because he cares. And he's like,
he has a different crazy.
yeah,
idea.
he's like, we have to go further. And it's like, no, obviously that doesn't fucking work. But in the character in the show, he's like,
it's gonna work.
it's
yeah.
good. Yeah. So yeah, guys, watch the show. Honestly,
I gotta watch
yeah.
that, and I gotta watch World's Toughest Test on
Yeah.
Fox.
Wait, so what is? Can you?
What
I'm
is
not
that?
going. This is not another chapter. Just the tail end of this shit. A couple celebrities trained by Navy SEALs, and it's a competition. 16 go in, 1 wins for charity. You know how reality shows be nowadays.
Competition reality shows I do fuck with quite a bit.
Wait, do they fight each other?
It's mainly that'd be great, right? Like if they just straight up like murder each other.
Shaq
And then
versus
they put them in the gulag.
But like just to name like my 5 favorite, right, that are in the show, they got Jamie Lynn Spears.
Ariana Grande.
Why, right?
Yeah.
They got Dwight Howard. They have Montel Jordan. They have Drew Pinsky. Oh, fuck, who's the third? There's a really good one, too. Shit. Oh, Mel B. That's who it
shit.
is.
They're
And Mike Piazza. Don't forget about Mike
Drew
Piazza.
Binsky and Mike Piazza are both like 55 and ripped, so they're gonna
fight. Didn't you say that chick from John and Kate plus 8?
Oh, yeah. John. Did I say John? Kate Gosselin. There it is. Took a while.
Right?
Yeah.
I think
Kate
you might be
Gosselin.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
She
John.
had 8 kids,
John.
and they made a whole show about her.
She's an octopus.
She was like, "Look at my 8 kids."
No, that's not Octomom.
It's
That's
so
a different
crazy.
person.
Yeah,
right?
imagine having so many reality shows about people with a lot of kids.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, they're making the 16 Kids and Counting was another one, which
and they're up to like 20, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
It's
isn't it like an Amish family?
Probably.
I'm not even gonna get. I know way too much about that.
There's an Amish mafia.
I'm not going to get
There's
into
an
it.
Amish mafia.
Oh, watch that shit, dude.
That's a good show.
Bro.
What?
You know how we always get into some dumb shit, and can we just like devote a season to Amish mafia,
or just
bro?
like stupid show of the week. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I'm
Like,
down.
we
Or
just
the
do-
month, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Just straight
'cause
up.
I remember we talked about Mountain Monsters or Mountain Men, whatever it was,
Yeah.
the fucking Bigfoot
But we
show.
all need to be. It needs to be like a book club type thing, you know.
And
We
we
need to learn about the mafia of the Amish country because they take that shit seriously, and I'm like 85% sure it doesn't exist. Like it's all staged. I'm
A lot.
certain.
Most reality shows are just like so.
But
fucking-
it's a great watch. It's a great watch. Yeah. Just reality shows. Yeah. I don't know why we went on that tangent.
Well, we talked about a reality show almost, so that makes sense.
I mean, I don't know how reality that show is. It's
Well,
called
it's
The Rehearsal.
it's simulated reality.
You know what's another show I watched? Cake Boss. And I remember there was an episode where he drops the cake right, like, as he's lifting it. The guy wanted to make, like, a solar system cake. So the guy, he makes, like, a whole solar system, and he lifts it up, and it breaks, like, right when he has it there. Everyone sees it.
Uh-huh.
It's great.
Oh, fuck. I was waiting for an Italian accent. That was all I wanted.
What
the fuck, Louis? We're supposed to break the cake.
He's like from Baltimore, I think, or he's like from so he has like a weird accent.
Yeah.
But
What's his name? Joe Carl?
Joe Carl, bro.
Joe Carl. I'm Joe Carl from my bakery.
Carlo. No, it's Carlo's Bakery. But
Bro, it was the one time, like, he walks with his tail between his legs. He's just like, I am so sorry.
the drama,
And then-
honestly though, the drama in Cake Boss or Ace of Cakes are like the most dramatic shows. It's like the transportation of the cake is the most intense scene you'll ever film.
Buddy Velostro.
I was completely off.
Yeah. Buddy the Elf.
Shout out to Cake Boss and, those cakes that all the New Yorkers love.
Shouts to reality shows. Speaking of reality, there's something that happened in reality. That's a terrible
Was it the Cherry Valley Drag Race?
I'm just trying to segue it to our final segment, our final chapter of the show, which is normally Jam and Yam of the Week. Except this week it's going to be a little bit bigger because something special happened.
Fatter?
A little fatter because something special happened between this episode and last week's episode. It is a Joystick holiday in my opinion. And that is we got our Spotify Wrapped. Yeah. We got to learn some really fun facts about
we got to learn our auras.
Our music preferences. I know Joey definitely loved his results. He's thrilled about it. And
a lot of people don't like their results.
We're going to give our music recommendations of the week, but I thought it'd be also interesting to talk a little bit about our Wrapped. And all I wanted to say about mine was what I found interesting is I feel like every year up until this one, my top song is always really obvious because it's like the one song that has like, I don't know, like 500 plays. And then number 2 probably has like 300 or something like that. Yeah. But this year was interesting. It was like the first year that every song was really close. So it's like my number 1 song could have been beaten by like the next 6. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I'm very similar.
Crazy.
So it's kind of nuts. I didn't even feel like it was my favorite song of the year, but I had listened to it so much that I was like, I love it. Like, you know what I mean? So I was happy with it. But shout outs to Ugly by Kari. I think it's actually an older jam of the week. It's not my jam this week, but I did want to shout it out.
Yeah. I noticed that about my Spotify Wrapped, that every song was a yam, which makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I noticed
which does
too.
make sense. But I was looking through it and I was like, I have to pick a different. I can't pick a yam of the week that's on that because I already probably picked it. Yeah. And I know what I already picked, which, by the way, holy shit, I listen to some good music.
You listen to good music.
Yeah, we got some fucking bangers in that.
I mean, just get mine out of the way. My jam of the week is a little song called Flowers by TOBi. Cool rap jam, has a sick-ass beat with a dope, soulful sample, and that's that.
I think I remember mine, but I don't remember the band, or I don't remember how it's spelled. Yeah, I got it. So my yam of the week is a little hack for everyone at home. If you want to find some new music, you can go to your Spotify top 100 from your Wrapped, or go to your favorite top 5 and then click on the 3 dots and get a song radio based on the top on the top 100 or any song, or if you do on your playlist, it's all of those songs you liked and it's like a good mix.
Yep.
It doesn't take the same genre. And I found a song like that, a song called In On It by Superheaven. Mad good. It sounds like a
group you'd like.
Yeah. It's honestly, it sounds like a band from like the early 2000s, like how the music sounds. But then I looked up the band, and all of these new songs I'm finding, it's like a band from 2014 or 2013. They had 2 albums and then broke up, But yeah, fucking banger. Mad good, mad catchy.
Yeah, so I don't have anything crazy to say about my Wrapped, other than
Joey's number 1 song was "Crazy Car" by the Naked Brothers band.
Yeah, and then number 2 was "Crazy Frog."
Number 3 was actually "Banana Smoothie" by Naked Brothers band.
And then,
number 4 was "Crazy" by Gnarls Barkley.
Crazy in Love.
Crazy Train. No, I connected my phone alarm to my Spotify. So I was like, oh, awesome. I'll connect my Spotify to my phone alarm, and I picked a song to be my alarm. And when my Spotify Wrapped came up, it was like, here's your favorite song. And
You
it was my
love
alarm.
this one.
You heard it every day this year.
You heard it every day. And
You're like, I know.
And I was like, oh no. The next one, here's your favorite band. You heard them every day. This is your favorite album from the favorite band that you heard every day.
Guess where that song is from?
Oh shit,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
fucking.
I was like, oh my god, no. Like, it fucked up my entire Wrapped. And I was just like, fuck it.
That's what you get for putting Crazy Cars as your alarm. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I have a deep hatred for the Naked Brothers band now. No, but my what is it? Slam? My slam for this week.
Nathaniel Wolf is in the fucking ground, bro.
That was gonna be like
bro.
false advertising. They weren't even naked.
That's a scandal.
No, my song for this week is by The Smiths. It's called "There Is a Light That Never Ends." There's a light that never goes out. My apologies.
Oh, so it does end.
Yeah, it never
It
goes
doesn't
out.
Go out. Got it.
I found that song. My girlfriend made a cover of it on YouTube, and I like how it sounds. So I was like, I want to learn this song too.
That's not the one that the guy shit on, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay, fuck that guy. We hate that guy.
Fuck that guy.
What's his name? Atomic Fetus. That's his
Atomic-
name. Atomic Fetus.
Atomic Fetus.
Go fuck yourself, Atomic Fetus.
Wrong.
Go fuck yourself, Atomic Fetus, and go fuck yourself, Kinda Deshaun. Come on,
Yeah.
get your shit together,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Get some communications going.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Joystick Show, episode 118. I hope you like the podcast set, because if all goes well, there might be some alterations next week. I can't even tell if that camera's recording still. Just tap it. Oh, it's not. That's fantastic. Why?
Fuck.
Why does this happen? Anyway, we're gonna figure out. Can you just hit record on it for me, just on the back? You know, it's back there. You just find it. You know, he's gonna figure it out.
Can't find it.
You know, you're gonna fucking get up and find it. Did you find it? No, you didn't find it. He's gonna find it. There's a spot.
You gotta find the sweet spot.
The red little, yeah.
And you gotta like.
Memory card full. There's nothing on that card. This is great. This is great entertainment.
I went to go do it, but it's not even recording.
It's fine. Just grab it. I'll talk to you guys here. Yeah, I hope you guys like the set. If all things go well,
Maybe we'll have working cameras.
Maybe we'll have working cameras, and maybe hopefully we'll have some new additions here. We're trying to get some overhead lighting rigged up here, make things look a little cooler. We got some new colored lights, as I fucking wish you could see, but you know, hopefully you saw it earlier.
You could see a little bit.
Yeah, right.
I could see it.
Look at the back of my head. Look at my hand. You see how red it is? It's because there's a red light.
Wow.
This is not fun when the
Over there
camera's
is
not. Regardless, though, it'd really help us if you could like this episode of the Joystick Show. If you could subscribe to Team Joystick and let us know what TV show you've been binging lately, because I'm going to be binging The Rehearsal pretty soon, because that sounds like a fucking
Likewise.
experience. And thank you, Dylan, for that one, because you summed it up. You summed up a pretty complicated situation quite nicely. You put a nice little bow on it, too. So, without further ado,
Let's go drag race at Cherry Valley.
what?
Like the supermarket?
Yeah.